Hi, this is Fern Richardson from lifeonthebalcony.com, and today I wanted to share a few photos from a recent guerrilla gardening expedition. Our little expedition was organized by Scott of SoCalGuerrillaGardening.com. He's been called by local television the Che Guevara of guerrilla gardening, which is pretty funny because he was not very radical and just seemed like a pretty down-to-earth, nice guy. Also there was Adriana Martinez from anarchyinthegarden.com, as well as several of our Long Beach neighbors who all got together and helped out and beautified a really ugly little piece of land right next to Long Beach City College off of Alamitos. Something pretty cool happened right after we showed up. The area that we were working in was right in front of several car repair shops, and one of the owners of the shop saw us working and came over, and he was telling us all sorts of stories about his experiences farming on his family's farm back in Cambodia. And he was just so excited to see the gardening go in. He went over and started, planting plants himself, and he got out his tools and was repairing some of the retaining strips around the garden, and it was just really gratifying to see that what we were doing was really appreciated by the people who are going to live with it day in and day out. And he was especially excited about the aloe we were planting because he said he uses it to treat burns that he sometimes gets when he gets burned while he's working on cars. And it was just such a cool experience to talk to someone that I would have never gotten to talk to but for this guerrilla gardening experience. Also there was some student filmmakers who were filming their documentary about the urban gardening movement. They were getting lots of shots in of all the action and talking to Scott and Adriana, so it'll be really neat to see their documentary, which is supposed to come out next year, probably around February. Anyway, I had a great time guerrilla gardening with Scott and Adriana and all of the other people that showed up. But after that one guerrilla gardening expedition, I'm by no means an expert, so I thought I would go to the experts, guerrillagardening.org, to give you a few tips in case you want to start your own guerrilla gardening expedition. First, guerrillagardening.org recommends finding a spot. This shouldn't be too hard because most cities seem to neglect a lot of their land. Second, they recommend setting up a date in the evening and inviting some supportive friends, which I can definitely attest to the value of, because we wouldn't have been able to get done nearly as quickly as if it had just been a handful as opposed to the 20 or 30 people that showed up. Then, of course, you need plants. Scott seems to make most of his plants from cuttings and propagating them from other of his succulents, which is a great way to go because those are about as free as it gets. When picking your plants, remember that they need to be ready for frontline battle. A lot of the locals will probably walk all over your garden while it's getting started, and you also don't want to pick plants that are going to need a lot of extra TLC from you, so look for natives and drought-tolerant plants that are well suited to your area. Finally, you'll need some good shoes. GuerrillaGardening.org recommends Wellingtons, but I don't really think you need to go all crazy like that. I just wore some good tennis shoes and that was fine. You'll also want to bring some shovels and hand trowels. Expect the dirt to be hard. Today it was like digging through concrete. It was unbelievable. You'll also want to remember to bring some trash bags because we probably spent a good first hour just picking up all the trash and debris that was on the site before we could even get started with gardening. Oh yeah, don't forget water. You'll want to have some on hand to give your plants a good start, and there's most likely not going to be a hose or a faucet nearby that you'll be able to use, so you want to transport it in some big gallon plastic water bottles or any other sort of jug that you can find. If you do decide to go on a guerrilla gardening expedition, shoot me an email, fern@lifeonthebalcony.com. I'd love to hear about it. As always, I hope you'll log on to lifeonthebalcony.com for more container gardening tips, tricks, and ideas. And hey, even a little bit of guerrilla gardening from time to time.